head coach Ross of the Tax Gym Street Warrior in Gia Uhuru. Okay, I'm responding to a couple of questions, actually quite a few, 112 emails regarding this and other issues and the concepts connecting them. I'm going to show you the Sarakasi Yemoya. Okay, I'm going to show you standing. I'm going to show you the transition to the ground. And I'm going to show the two basic versions of them when you're low fighting. And then I'm going to show you some of the basic ground movements involving them. There's spins, basically. The means spiral. So there's various forms of doing the spiral. And there's spirals where you're doing the rolls, etc. and so forth. I'm not going to show that in this video. All right? But I'll show you the ones where you can enact the spiral in the midst of movements that are more common, like quote-unquote cartwheels and things of that nature. Okay? So, without any further ado, I'm going to show you how to do this properly for self-defense and its application tactics. Okay? All right, let's go to work. Okay, you wind up executing this technique in self-defense for a variety of reasons. But first, before you do the technique, you have to defend against some form of attack, or close the distance to your opponent, or move toward the area you're going to apply the Sarakasi Yemoya in. Okay? Okay. So that means if you're moving toward your opponent, some way he or she or they is going to be attacking, you're going to be moving, shifting, moving with them, and in the proper time, you'll wind up eluding their attack and moving. It is very important that when you execute the movements, watch the way in which I do the movement. Most people, especially the CAPOEIRAs who attempt these movements, do it only in the gymnastic form. They pay no attention to self-defense. Watch how I move my hands, okay, and how I do my transitions. So we'll be here using the fences, transitioning here, they're grappling with you, pushing them off, you're slipping, you're checking the kicks, you're moving, you make shift leads on them, and then you execute the movement. You transition of the attack, hit the proper angle of your opponent, breathing properly using the knowledge and principles of Yemoya as taught to us through the lessons of Ifa, the spiritual system, and also of Candomblé and Santeria, all of which are connected to Ifa, Vodun, etc., so on and so forth. Okay? You've done the movement, you've gotten the proper angle, and now it's time for you to execute the on. Okay? You step out, proper defenses here, keeping your eye on your target. Hand transitions toward the ground as you lower your weight. As you lower your weight. Once that happens, you then watch as I transition here. This hand touches, this hand moves, and this hand comes off the ground. Let me show you again. As this hand touches, you transition, you're watching your opponent, keeping your defense up tight. As you transition your weight onto this hand comes off the ground. You'll never have a time when both hands are on the ground. Never happen. All right? You'll always have to have your defenses done properly. Your hands are here, you'll transition away your defense, watching your opponent, not looking down the ground, watching your opponent. Your breath and your movement is all transition, which allows you to move away from your opponent. The attacks of your opponent and their reach determines whether your legs go all the way up and help you go over, whether you kick at them as you're going over, you keep your legs bent as you go over. So your hand comes down. The leading hand limitates my left hand to go down touching the ground. The key that makes a difference also here in the first and most basic application is when your right hand touches the ground, your left hand comes up and your body turns. You're not doing, that's called a classic frontman. You're not doing that. You're turning in mid-motion, keeping your eye on your target the whole time. Here, you can, there's no time when both hands are touching the ground. You're always keeping your hands and your eyes on your target. So you're taking the energy to either be moving away or to load to come back into the attack. But whatever you need to do, once those options present themselves to you. Okay? That's the first concept, the lateral movement. The lateral movement. I'm going to repeat it again from a different angle so you can see the technique and the nuances in the hand placement and the head movement. Okay? So, here's the next thing.
Rolling.
Once again, fighting stance and getting your defense here, you're stepping out, your transitions properly. You're having your defense focusing on your opponent, all your weapons are focusing on your opponent. You're then going to move and transition lower, taking this leg out, breathing properly. Hand touches the ground. When you're away from your opponent and your opponent cannot reach you, that's the only only time your hand touches the ground. When your opponent cannot reach you, that's the time your hand touches the ground. You do not put your hands down until you've already moved yourself away from your opponent's initial lines of attack, so they can't reach you. Second, you put your hand down and you don't do this. I'm gonna turn here and show you the mistake that people do with their feet. They'll do this and leave this foot behind. This foot comes with you and puts all your energy here. Okay, and now I'm gonna do the execute movement toward you. You're facing your opponent. You're here, you're moving, you're stepping with me. You've stepped out, you transition, the hand comes here. Foot comes with you as you transition your weight to this side. Foot comes with you, hands up, this hand does not touch. Watch, hands transition. Both hands do not touch the ground. At the same time, is here, transitioning the fence up. Okay? That's the basic way of doing it toward the camera. Last time. Here, move it, transition. This hand is up, protecting your face, protecting your body. Each time as you transition, you have defense here, moving away from your opponent's attacks, and when this hand touches, you have a defense here. You're transitioning over. At no time do you have both hands down and your face is available to be hit. Your body's available to be attacked. You transition from hand to hand, always protecting yourself. Not only from empty-handed attacks, it allows you to launch empty-handed attacks and weapon attacks. Guns, knives, spears, arrows, whatever, rocks, dirt, stank breath, something. You'll be able to have your hands up to defend yourself. And that's before you employ your legs as attacking and defending mechanisms. You want to get the owned correct. The spiral motion comes from the change in direction of the body. The spiraling motion, the twirling motion comes from the change in direction of the body, which, let me show you again, is here. You're stepping out, hand touches down. Remember, hand touches down, weight comes through, the leg comes behind you, here. That's the spiraling motion, as opposed to this. You turn on the base hand. That's where the spiral comes from. You're here, boom, you move it, step here, here. See how this hand turns? The right hand turns on the ground and comes up. That's where the spiraling motion comes in. It's the lateral movement. You will now learn the L pattern basic movement. This next one. I want you to practice this movement first, and then I'll show you the next one. This next clip showing right about now. Ready? Let's go.